Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Great to be back. I've had a weeks off since the European final. Still not over that, still not over it, but a lot has happened. So thank you all first off for all being so patient. I did need a little bit of a breather after that Euros because it was a lot going off in the time when we're doing it. So yeah, I'm now refreshed. Just got back from a week in Ibiza, which was brilliant. I wouldn't have chosen Spain in hindsight. Yet it was amazing. It was lovely. But yeah, we are now here. We're now at a point where the season's starting back, the domestic season's starting back. And of course, over the past 24 hours, or maybe just a bit more now, we have had some movement on that England manager's post. So that is what we'll be discussing tonight for 30 or 40 minutes. We'll get this one back in. But the Sunday Club is back regularly on a Wednesday now. So yeah, it's great to be back and I can't wait to crack on with these. And it's now the road to the World Cup, isn't it, in the US, and of course the UEFA Nations League, which is the most pressing because these are going to be England's next fixtures. Of course, England are in Group B, not in Group A, so we can't win the competition. But we can certainly get back to winning ways, certainly get back to putting ourselves back in that Group A. And we were speculating who it was going to be, for whoever was going to come in that post. These are a great set of fixtures, and we know now it's going to be Lee Carsley. So we'll have a look and see what we think he's going to do with these fixtures he's got available to him. So straight into the chat. As you know, I like to do the chat, and I know some of you straight in here. Captain Falcon Football Useless Tournament is back. JT, great to have you with me again, mate. I reckon we should give Carsley trial. Yeah, I mean, Lee Carsley is obviously the big talking point, and it isn't a surprise. It is not a surprise that Lee Carsley has been given the job, given the fact that there isn't anyone available. And I mean that. I do mean that. Charlie, good evening, mate. Klopp's, I think, a bit of a shout, a long shot, sorry. And I wouldn't want, personally, I would not want Klopp, Pep, Mourinho, none of these. It does not work. I'm going to get this straight out now. Going for named managers, big managers, does not work at international football. I bet most of you in this chat, or even those of you watching this video back later, I bet most of you still cannot name me Spain's manager who won the final, for example. I bet most of you can't remember Argentina's World Cup winning manager. At this level, you recruit from within. There's a proof all over the world. Just look all over the world. It works. The English fan, the English seem to have an obsession with going out and getting the biggest name we can. And historically, it does not work. So Lee Carsley, for me, was my first choice. We know it's not a full-time post. It's an interim, if you like. But I think he's on for getting this permanently. JT, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Really appreciated. Yep, as always, Super Chats, extremely welcome. And I... Trust me, yeah, I'm very humbled anytime anyone sends one through. So thank you all so much. Hope everyone's having a good summer, by the way. Like I said, I've just got back from a week in Ibiza. My first holiday abroad, actually, nearly 10 years. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a bit too hot, if I'm honest with you. I'm very English in that sense. I had Factor 50, bathed in Factor 50 all week. But when I was there, obviously, I was thinking about this manager's post, and the more I was thinking about it, the more I wanted it to be Lee Carsley. I think this will be a successful appointment. He's done wonders at under 21 level. I think secretly the FA want to give him it now. I just think it's just going to be the backlash from the media and the fans that are preventing him from being given the job full time. I mean, looking up here, so I have in advance drawn up the. Let me get it up. The statistics or the odds currently for the England manager, like next permanent England manager role. We know Lee Carsley's got it at the moment, but Lee Carsley's 1-1. Graham Potter's now second favourite at 72. He obviously is probably the only other manager, who I think is probably realistically in with a shout. He's not in a job, of course, at the minute. Eddie Howe, 6-1. So they're the top three. Lee Carsley, Graham Potter, then Eddie Howe. And the first foreign manager is Pep Guardiola at 8-1. I don't think that's a go right from the start. And I don't think he'd be any good as the England manager. He needs far too much time at international football. Klopp, Guardiola, you don't have time to build your philosophies. You see the lads about 5-6 times a year. Forget philosophy crap. Forget all this tick-attack and nonsense. It's international football. What you need is someone who can get a bunch of lads in a room, short space of time, and get them playing a simple system of football. And I think Lee Carsley is the man. Pochettino's then 10-1. Frank Lampard's now 18-1. Kieran McKenna out of nowhere is 20-1. And Jurgen Klopp is now all the way out to 20-1 as well. So I think it's Lee Carsley's to lose now, because looking at the fixtures, because we know now the next fixtures are the UEFA Nations League. So again, of course, England have been drawn in a group alongside Republic of Ireland, Finland and Greece. And these are when the fixtures are. So on September, Republic of Ireland away. Then we've got Finland at home. I believe, what does that say? Is that the 10th of September? And then we've got Greece at home in October. So they're our next 3 matches. I would expect him to win all 3 and win all 3 comfortably, by the way. It's going to be interesting to see who he picks up. There's some questions in there about certain players, particularly those right-backs, your Trippiers, your Walkers. What's the situation with Kane? Is he now our starting striker? Do we bring someone else in? There's a lot of big decisions to be made, and you can see at the bottom of my ticker now, I have put big writing just coming through now. Thank you, Southgate. And I just want to reiterate that, because I still can't believe he's gone, really. I really can't, and I won't believe it until we see the next England game. And I hope we're not looking back and thinking these were the golden years. I hope not. Go back to the chat. Bagani, World Cup is a long way to go. Mate, they all seem a long way to go, but they come around like that. They all do. So bring it on. It does seem a long way to go, but bring it on. Ricky Grimshaw, the main man, is back. I'm drunk as it was my 28th birthday on Friday, and I'm not working tomorrow, so I can drown my sorrows. That's Solanke left. Well, Ricky, happy birthday, mate. Hope you had a good birthday. Yep, Solanke, I think you got good money for him. He's had a good season, and I do think they've got a good signing there. It is Chelsea, isn't it? I think they've got a good signing, but yeah, it's good money, though. Good money. Good English player. Hopefully can push on now. I'm just very selfish from an England perspective. All I want to see is England players doing well. I don't care where they're playing. Just JT replying there to Ricky. Nozza, hello, mate. Great to have you back. Isaac L. Hunt, you'll be watching. Well, I'm not sure about that comment, mate. No, I'm going to remove that comment, because the Paralympics are rather good, so go away. The Olympics have been great. You know, Team GB putting on a good performance. Please only be respectful in the chat, everybody. This is a safe space for everybody. No need for that sort of crap. So yeah. Ricky, cheers, guys. Tottenham signed. That was it, Tottenham. Sorry, I have been out of the loop. In my defence, I've only been back in the country 12 hours, and I didn't have internet. So yeah, sorry, Ricky. I did know he'd gone though. In my group chat, I was with my mate. £65 million, good money, really good money. So yeah, Lee Carsley. I mean, are we happy? Are we happy with the appointment of Lee Carsley? I tell you what. Let me start. Sorry, I'm going to try and reach my keyboard. Let's get a poll going. Very simple. Are you happy with the appointment of Lee Carsley? Yes or no? Let's get some feels out there. He wasn't. I'll be honest with you. A lot of people have been happy. Did want him as England manager beforehand. You know, I think there's a lot of fans out there that aren't against it, but I'm still seeing loads of fans saying they want Clark, they want Pep, and I just think, do we all forget how international football works? Name one top big name manager who left a club to go to international level and win a tournament. I can't think of one. The way it works in international football, he knows the system. He'll know the young players coming through, and let's not forget, our most successful manager ever was appointed the same way, in the same route Lee Carsley has just been appointed through to. Or maybe not ever, but you get what I mean. So, for me, I think he should just be made permanent manager and stop all this nonsense. But let's see. Wall Lion as interim. So you only want him as interim. Who's your first choice? Who do you want as the main manager? that, and that's the problem. There is no one else. From my mind, there is nobody else. Give Carsley a chance, and I think this is what will happen. And like Southgate, he'll have a relatively comfortable start. I think he'll win all three of these games. I think he'll win all three of these games. I really do. He did actually if Warline, but I would argue he's a little bit of the exception. So Warline's come in with, didn't Mancini win? He did, absolutely, but he failed to qualify for 2 World Cups as well. And I know he won a title, and at the minute that's all that matters for England. But it was just a weird. Yeah, I've never known a manager have such a contrast in performances as a manager of an international team, either winning a tournament or failing to qualify for it. Ancelotti, yeah. Fine with Lee in as interim, but Eddie Howe is the man for the job, I reckon. Yep. I prefer Howe, but is he going to leave Newcastle? No. And this is it. This is what it comes back to. Who else is available? I think he'll win. I think Lee Carsley will win these 3 games more than comfortably. And I think then it's going to happen. This is what the FA want. Trust me. He'll win these next games and he'll be made permanent manager before the end of the year. I'm pretty certain of that. They have given themselves until the end of the year, haven't they? I'm just going to load up the article and I'll give that a read. So, some of the biggest managerial names in football have been linked with the job, but for at least now, Lee Carsley will take over as England interim manager for the Nations Leagues against Republic of Ireland, Finland in September and possibly beyond. Could the England under-21 manager be a contender for the permanent role? So yeah, I mean, he's got until the end of the year, hasn't it? Or they've suggested he have until the year. The 50-year-old has stepped up from his role as England 21 boss to replace Gareth Southgate. He's just going on about his past career. So England travel to Dublin to play Republic of Ireland, which I've spoken about. The FA have said Carsley would be in charge, for those games with a view to remaining in position throughout the autumn, where the FA's recruitment process for a new permanent head coach continues. So I think, I wouldn't be surprised if he's the permanent manager by the end of the year. I really wouldn't. And I wouldn't be against it. He is my choice for the job after all, but I can completely understand people's reasonings for wanting somebody probably, let's say, a little bit more exciting, a little bit more, I don't know, glamorous, if you like. Who knows, maybe we will win the Nations League with this manager. Well, it's going to take him 3-4 years to do it because we can't win it this year, mate, because we're in League B, so there's no chance we'll win it. Imagine if Southgate came back, Bagani. Well, he may do, who knows? 10 years' time, I think that's for now for Southgate. He may get a job. I can see Southgate getting a job with the FA, as daft as it sounds, or just something with UEFA, just one of those sort of technical roles rather than going off and managing. Carsley plays good football, says JT. Yeah, he did a good job and he played very exciting. I know the under-21's very different, but he did a very good job with the under-21s. There's no doubt about that. We won the European Championships, didn't we, in 2023? In fact, that was my first match, I think, I live streamed on this channel, and there was that amazing last-minute save from Trafford at the end. Oh, what a game. What a game. And we beat Spain in the final, by the way. So, up the Carsley. Come on. Won more than Southgate, the under-21 Euros. Carsley won, wasn't a joke as well. Play against a few good teams. Yeah, I mean, the under-21. The thing is about the under-21s, I see that we're in tournaments and I try and live stream and watch them and follow them. I don't think most people realise, actually, it's not like the Euros or the World Cup. It's almost impossible to even qualify. I think only like 8 teams even qualify for the damn tournament. So even to be there is an amazing achievement. You're already in essentially like a quarter-final or whatever it is. Because they're not made up of a lot of teams. So the fact that we're there and the fact that we've won a trophy under him, it can only be both for me. I think it's a good appointment and logically the right appointment. Our England 21 team had to beat very good Portugal and Spain teams. I'm impressed. Only time will tell. Wasn't a fan of Southgate to begin with, but got behind him and look where it took us. And I think that's the thing, PJ. I'm trying to cast my mind back. and it's hard now because it was an awful long time ago. We all know Southgate was not an attractive appointment. He came in because of the fiasco with Allardyce, and it's almost like, shit, who's going to be it? And fans were just like accepting that it's going to have to be Southgate because Allardyce has left the FA in England in a right mess, and at least he's going to step in, and he did those good games. And it's sort of, nobody before Allardyce was calling Gareth Southgate to be England manager, not a single person. So, and like I said, and I think it's going to be the same here. I think even more so, Carsley is going to have the backing right from the start, because I think there are a bunch of fans there that now see the logic of recruiting your under-21 manager to the senior post and bringing managers through that way, and, you know, getting players identified with the same setup, youth to senior. I think that's what works internationally for all other teams. It's worked for us with Gareth Southgate, and I think some fans now have actually started to realise it's not about going out and spending £10 million on the next named manager who's going to be shit in 2 years' time. I think it's the right appointment. I think he's got a bigger backing than what Southgate did when he started, and I think he'll comfortably win these 3 games. I really do. I can't see him not winning these 3 opening games against Republic of Ireland, Finland and Greece. I really can't. I hope he gives Gomez a chance. I'd like to see him for the seniors. And this is it. There's loads of talent coming through. There's loads. There's absolutely loads that weren't even on the plane. You think of Palmer, who scored the goal in the final, who only played a very small part of the Euros, even though some people were calling him for much more of him to be seen. He's still basically coming in as a new player. The striker position is probably an area he's going to struggle because there isn't a natural replacement for Kane, even though Kane's been quite poor. Ollie Watkins obviously played well, having Tony play well, but I just feel like having that key striker is probably going to be one area where, and the right back position, as daft as it sounds, in the centre back position, or the centre back position may be solved given how well Mark Gahey did at the Euros. England should beat those 3 teams, says Nozza. Yeah, absolutely. Alf Garnett, I don't get what you mean. Corblimey playing the mix with the new England manager. Who a Mick? I don't get what you mean, Alf. Retype that. Watkins, Tony, Slanky. Yeah, the problem is they're all players. I'm not saying there isn't options, but it's just none of them are Kane, are they? And it's, I think for 10 years we've just not even been debating who starts up front. It's going to be an interesting battle. It's going to be an interesting battle there, and it'll be interesting to see who he picks. Maybe Slanky, if he continues his form from last season, could get called up. I mean, the Republic of Ireland being his first game away, it's a good one, isn't it? You want a test, and it is going to be a bit of a test. Playing Republic of Ireland, even if they're, you know, on a bad run of form or they haven't got the players, whatever, you know, playing Ireland, Scotland, Wales, it doesn't matter how good or bad those teams are at the minute. It's always a different feel, isn't it? Because it's a bit of a local derby. So it's a good opening test for him. See how he handles it. I think he'll do well. I think he'll do really, really well. Is the World Cup after the Nations League tournament? It's in 2020. It'll be 2026 now, won't it? Now, so the Nations League, the way it all works is all really a bit bizarre. Like the Nations League is, it'll be next. Will it be next summer? Yeah, I think it'll be next summer, early next summer. No tournament, and then it's the World Cup. It's obviously in USA, Canada, and Mexico, the next World Cup, which I'm not looking forward to at all. I can't stand it being in America. I really can't. They constantly keep pushing it. Americans won't even care. You won't even know it's on, and all we'll have is some of the worst chanting in history until the US go out. I think as soon as the US go out, the tournament will be bearable. Are we in pot 2 for the World Cup qualifiers? I'm not sure. I don't think so. Or maybe we are because of the Nations League. Let me have a look. World Cup. Yeah, I've not done much reading around the pot. Let me have a look. Well, there's a new qualifying format for 2026. So UEFA have confirmed their suggested format for the qualification stage of the Euro 2000 for the World Cup, in 2026. The next World Cup, which has been hosted by US, Mexico and Canada, is set to be the biggest ever edition of the tournament, with 48 teams participating. Of course, we know that. It's an increased World Cup, an increase of 50% from before. I mean, the dog and duck will be playing at this one as well. The Euros is a better tournament than the World Cup. That's all I'm saying on that. And harder to win. Of the 16 new spots that have been allocated to UEFA, that means that 16 European nations will be present at the 2026 World Cup. UEFA have now revealed the qualifying format they intend to use at the tournament. European qualification for last year's World Cup in Qatar consisted of 10 groups of 5 or 6 countries. Each group winner progressed to the final tournament, and the other three spots were determined by a playoff round between 12 teams. The new suggested format would see the number of groups increase from 10 to 12, so more games within a group. However, the size of the groups will be reduced to 4 or 5. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, the number of groups, sorry, scratch that. The number of groups, there's going to be more groups, but smaller group sizes. Thus decreasing the number of qualifying games. All 12 group winners would automatically qualify for the World Cup, with the 12 runners up heading to the playoff round. They would be joined by the 4 highest-ranked Nations League teams from the 2024-25 campaign who did not finish inside the top 2 in their qualifying groups. The 16 teams in the playoff would be divided into 4 paths. Each team would play a single-legged semi-final, with the winners progressing to a single-legged final. The 4 winners would qualify for the tournament. Put it simply, you win your qualification group for the World Cup, you're through. After that, you're in some sort of playoff. I think that's all I'm going off. Going from walking distance in Qatar to getting planes between stadiums in the US, yeah, and I guarantee you now, no one will think of fans. They won't. They will not give a shit about fans. And you want to see some of the travel that'll be happening. It'll be ridiculous. I think they've already announced, actually, where some of the group games are going to be for each, and it's already an absolute shambles. I didn't like the Euros. It was a poor tournament. I'll be honest with you, it probably was a poor tournament after I've said that. I agree with you there. The quality wasn't there, but who knows? I think the World Cup's going to be similar. They're saying a lot of teams are playing too many games, or a lot of players are too... Everyone looked knackered. Everyone looked knackered apart from Spain at the Euros. It was bizarre, really bizarre. But I'm adamant the Euros is a much harder tournament to win than the World Cup. I think there's going to be 15 teams back in Europe who'll be better than half the teams at the World Cup. And the fact that 48 team World Cup, what a joke. I don't know. I mean, we'll all be like, oh, it's great, more games, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem right to me. I don't think the World Cup should happen in North America because some of us will be sleeping with some of the matches happens. Yeah, but I get it. It's got to go around the world. It's got to go... I mean, where would it go next? Would it go back to Asia next? It's got to go all the way around the world, and I get that. No, it's been in Asia, of course, so with Qatar. So, yeah, I get it, going to different places. It's just the US and the fans, and I just can't stand it. I just can't wait till it's done. Like, the US are out, is what I mean by that. Won't know the ranking till the end of the year, says PJ. Thanks for that. 48 teams of the World Cup, too many, I think so. Surprised there wasn't look of criticism of Southgate after the Euros. I mean, look, people were criticising Southgate after the Euros, but I think logic prevails. When we all look back, you think you can't criticise him, can you? He did a fantastic job. Best years supporting England in my lifetime by a long way. So, yeah. Thank you, Southgate. Definitely. Darius, my prediction. Coming straight in with a prediction. Love it. My predictions are Ireland 1, England 1. So you're going for an England-Ireland draw. Interesting. England 3, Finland 0, and England 2, Greece 1. I'd be disappointed with them, but we don't know. I mean, this is the time to play England as well. We'd literally no idea. I mean, we didn't know. I didn't have any idea what England were going to turn up after each game in the Euros. Never mind now we've got a new manager. So I'm saying we should win this easily. None of us have got a Scooby. What are we going to be like against the Republic of Ireland in September? Who knows? Australia would do a great World Cup. Already got the stadiums. Yeah, that would be a good shout. I prefer 48 teams. More sides get a chance. Yeah, but you don't want... But the argument to that is why not then 100 teams? You know what I mean? It's not about giving people chances for me. You don't want to... I don't know. The problem is you're going to have loads of teams that aren't at the World Cup who are better than a lot of the teams that are there just because of where they qualify from. That's what I'm saying. I mean, going back to America, Canada, Mexico, would they qualify for the World Cup in Europe? I'm not sure they would. I'm not sure any of them would. I'm not sure a lot of the teams in South America would qualify for the World Cup in Europe, given the fact that only the top team in a European group stage qualifies for the World Cup. So you end up with a load of teams there that shouldn't be there, and a load of teams there that should be there that aren't there, and it's just, I don't know. I think Euro 2024 was South Korea's worst tournament. I mean, that's some bar though, isn't it, Bagani? Worst tournament in regards to a final. But possibly, yeah, possibly I agree. But that such is the stature of the man. Let me end that poll. I've had that poll running. Didn't realise. Where did we get up to? What was the result? So Lee Carsley, happy with the appointment. 91% of said yes. Only 8% no. I believe that's one vote actually, given the pool of voters there. So most people seem pretty happy with Carsley's appointment. So yeah, let's give him a shout. Let's give him a chance. Colombia and Uruguay are good again. Yeah, I'm not saying they're not. Yeah, this is what I mean. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that they won't, but I'm just saying they wouldn't automatically qualify like you expect them to in South America. I think there's some teams like these that you think are going to qualify automatically, such as the US, Mexico, or Uruguay, Colombia's. Most of these teams that always do qualify, I think if they played in Europe, they wouldn't be at half the World Cups they've been in the past. I assume the plan with Carsley is to get the end of the season to see if Pep or Howe are available and wanting the job, and if not, stick with him. That's from E. Yeah, maybe E would make sense. I mean, it says a lot about Graham Potter, doesn't it? The fact that he's available and they haven't come in for him. I would push him further down on that gap, but he's currently second favourite to be appointed. I think my other flip side is knowing the FA, which I don't, by the way, but I'm just knowing how they've worked in the past. I think they're just wanting him to have a good Nations League and then make it easy for them just to appoint him later on in the full-time post. But who knows? We did do the Argentina 2014 in the Euros. How do you mean, Bagani? I think I might have read that wrong, sorry. Super chat, guys, let's donate little support to our Gary. Thanks, JT, for asking people to do so. But yeah, no, if you are watching and you're new here and you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, because you can then join the chat. You have to be subscribed for a minute, join the chat, let me know where you're from, what your thoughts are, just pop any other question out there. It doesn't have to be what we're talking about now. So yeah, join in with the discussion. I'm here every Sunday, the Sunday Club, 7:30 onwards, UK time that is, so depending on where you're watching, you'll have to figure out where that is. But yeah, hit that subscribe button if you're new here. There's some real good dark horses that might not qualify because of the teams: Hungary, Croatia, Uruguay. Yeah. And this is what I mean. It's yeah. I mean, I'm not. Well, are we getting into a debate about what's better, the Euros or the World Cup? I genuinely believe you play each game in the Euros. If you add up the difficulty of all the games in the Euros compared to the World Cup, I think the Euros is harder. Every game, I think there'll be games in a group stage at a World Cup which are a lot easier than any game would ever be in the Euros. That's what I'm saying. And I do think, yeah, look, I think the Euros are harder than the World Cup. Simple as that. But I can understand people saying not so. England are my dark horse in our Nations League group. I wouldn't say the dark horses, mate. I mean, the thing is, he's got to win this group, hasn't he? I mean, the thing is, Carsley's got to win this Nations League group if he wants, or win all three games, probably. Maybe not the first. You'd let him off with the first, wouldn't you? But you'd expect him to win some of these 2-3, 4-0 for him to have any chance of getting the job full time. This is his chance now. This is his interview, isn't it? This is his chance to put his name really in the hat to say, I should be the man. Are you going to any of the Nations League games? Right, interesting question, Emzer, and it doesn't affect any of you guys at all, but later this month I am having an operation on an ankle, and I've been waiting 3 years for this, and it's a football-related injury, so it is relevant to this chat. It's a football channel chat, after all. But a few years ago I was playing football in a charity game and I broke my ankle. It's never been right since, and I've been waiting 3 years for it. I've finally got an appointment. It came through as I've got back from my holiday, but it's at the end of August. So I've bought my tickets for the Greece game, and I'll be buying tickets for the following game as well. Finland and Greece. I'll be buying I've got one ticket. I'll be buying one for the other, but I probably won't be able to go because I'll be in a cast, and they'll probably come just too early for me. So yeah, disappointing. But I think I've got someone who's going to buy my ticket off me anyway. So I am actually not. So it may give me a chance actually to sit here with a broken leg, have my leg up, and we might live stream those matches on here because I can't physically be there. So yeah, I'm really disappointed actually. But yeah, it gives us a chance to live stream some matches, I suppose. Euros is hot, but then I should be back later on in the year. It's what, 8, 9? I should be back. Maybe I'll be back for that third game in the group, maybe. Like in terms of going to Wembley. It's just getting to Wembley. It's right faff. Obviously with a broken leg, and I usually do travel on my own and meet people there. So because I'm travelling on my own, I can't get there if I've got a broken leg. So I found the Euros more stressful. Cup. I was wrecked after every game. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, JT, I can't watch any on him. I genuinely can't. I find them all. I mean, I love it, but I hate it at the same time. Euros is harder pound for pound. This World Cup will have such a good chance with the cannon fodder in the tournament. Yeah, and that's my point, really. That's my point. I think you play more competitive games at Euros than what you do at a World Cup. All the best from JT. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's very routine, but it's just something that needs doing. So yeah, it just means I'm off my feet for a few weeks. If we were against France, we would have won this Euros. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm still not over it, and you can see I'm sort of not talking about the final at all. I did do the live stream after the final. You can go back and watch that. It is interesting because it was very raw. Everyone was on the chat. So yeah, just go back and watch that, but it just feels like it's never going to happen. I'm absolutely gutted about it still. I still haven't watched any. I haven't watched the highlights back from the Croatia defeat in the semi-final for you. I don't watch them back. I can't watch them back. It just felt like we went out not giving our best in that final. And I know Spain were good, but we just sat back far too much. But anyway, it's gone. We haven't won it again. Losing 2 finals is one thing. You feel proud because 2 finals is nothing to be sniffed at. But again, to lose back to the finals, you just think, why always England? For God's sake. Alf, I was at the Empire Stadium in 1966. Gordon Bank, George Cohen, Ray Wilson, Bobby Moore, Nobby Stiles, Alan Ball, Martin Peters, Bobby Charlton, Jeff Hurst, Roger Hurst. True, real English hero football legends. Alf, how old are you then? I mean, it's amazing if you were there, mate. Quality stuff. Absolutely quality. Can I give that a like? I don't know how you give comments a like now. But no, quality stuff, Alf. JT, mate. I mean, I do watch that back sometimes. I mean, that overhead kick. I mean, how bad were we on that game, though? We were so poor in that Slovakia game. So, I mean, I cannot believe we were 30 seconds going out of a tournament against Slovakia. Look at the difference. Look at how football is so... It's margins. Southgate could have gone out in an absolute thunderstorm because if we'd have got knocked out by Slovakia, what an horrendous way to end his England manager's career. It'd have been a shambles. Spain deserved to win at the end of the day. Best team in the tournament. Yeah, no, I can't disagree with that. Can't disagree with it at all. Watch Croatia versus England. No, the only one I keep watching is when we beat them about 3 months later in the Nations League at Wembley, comfortably as well. I think for me, and a lot of people have said that it's not so much the Spain final, it's the Italy final before that we should have won. You know, with Pickford pulling out those saves in the penalty shootout, the fact that we were in the lead, that's the one we should have won that at home. That's the one we should have won. Most gutting thing for me is I think versus Croatia, Italy and France, we lost to the better team on paper. Spain were absolutely brilliant, but it's for the first time I thought our team was better. So gutted. I thought we were a better team in the quarterfinal against France as well. I do genuinely. That's the one game, out of all those 3 losses, that's the one game where I look back over the 90 minutes and think, actually, we were the better team. I genuinely believe that. We had more of the ball. We had multiple chances. I think we looked threatening. I think we kept them quiet for most of the game. We were playing good football. We were playing better football than what we played in the entirety of the last Euros. So that one's a difficult one as well. Germany and Holland have lost back-to-back finals, though. It can still come right. Yeah, let's hope so. Have faith, Gary. The next Euros are over. So third time lucky. I mean, but that's the thing, isn't it? You're now asking us to go to either three tournament finals in a row. No, sorry, that's nonsense. 3 Euros finals in a row, or a third final in 4 tournaments. That is a big ask. That is a big ask for us to go to the next Euros and get to a final again. That is a big ask. New artist, we were 100% better than France, more shots in possession. Yeah, I honestly, I look back on that and I think, how did we get knocked out? I mean, we know how I got knocked out. Harry Kane missed a penalty, didn't he? But yeah, I think that one, I know it was only a quarter-final, but that one and the Italy game at home, just one of those where I just feel like the fine margins did not go our way that night. England were good against Holland. We were. We played well. Played really well. We did play really best. Probably our best game of the tournament, wasn't it? Most definitely. Right. Well, it's going on to 45 minutes. I'm probably going to leave it there. I am literally. I've not been back from my holiday long, so I've still got stuff to sort out before I get back to work tomorrow. Crap, but every Sunday now, it's back. A video will be dropping next week as well. The previews for these games. I haven't put a video out in 2-3 weeks since the preview for the final. So videos will be back coming on. And it's been great to be back. Great to see the same faces in the chat. I absolutely love it. It's brilliant. Absolutely love it. I hope you're all having a fantastic week, fantastic summer. And we go again. We go again. In a few weeks' time, England are back on. And I can't wait. Yet again. I mean, it's amazing, isn't it? How flat I was after those Euros. And now, it's like, come on then. We go again. We literally go again. And the hope rises. And it's the hope that kills you. But it's also the hope that gets you excited. So, oh, hang on. A couple of messages. Look after yourself. Good man. Treat yourself well. Thanks. You too, JT. Thank you very much for your super chat tonight. Greatly appreciated. New artist, would you rather England win win a World Cup or your tournament? World Cup. Definitely. Palmer will likely start against Ireland as Carsley here. Yeah. Well, let's see. I think that's the thing we've got to look forward to now. Some exciting squads and starting 11s, I think, will be picked. I think now is the time to experiment and bring some of these new players through, really. Your tournament will be England's finally win it in 2028 at Wembley. Yeah, obviously we're at home, aren't we? So that's the other thing. So who knows? Maybe 3 back-to-back Euros is a possibility. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic Sunday night. Look after yourself. The weather is going to be absolutely scorching tomorrow. So whatever you're doing, have fun, take care, and I will see you all next week on a video and next Sunday on my live stream. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.